Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, Jess is out, so Lauren LaRosa is holding it down, and Charlamagne is actually catching a flight. We had some special guests on the phone lines this morning. We have Isaac Hayes III and his attorney, James Walker Jr. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
How you feeling this morning?
Feeling good.
All right, well, let's jump right into it. Recently, I seen Trump was using your father's song, and you sent out a cease and desist to make sure that song was being stopped. Allegedly, he didn't stop, so now you're suing his ass.
Yeah, 100%. We sent a cease and desist years ago, and then we asked for demand for payment for the multiple uses, over 130 uses, and they didn't respond to our deadline, so we had to file a lawsuit in a federal court. And, we were waiting to get some information back, but I'll let James share exactly what new information we have that is actually breaking.
Okay.
We found out a day or so ago that we have been approved by the court and our requests for a emergency hearing with Team Trump on September 3rd.
Oh, that's a big thing.
So your viewers, your listeners, and all of America who's been supporting this great brother here, who, by the way, this is probably the first time in a long time outside of the estate of Marvin Gaye, where we've had a black man stand up for his publishing, his songwriting, and go all out to get what's due and what's proper and what's respect. So we got great news that the judge has granted an emergency hearing on September 3rd with Donald Trump and company.
For all of the people, because some people will say like, oh, it's just a song. Can you explain, like when a judge approves an emergency hearing, that's a big thing because that means that there's a lot of evidence that shows that there's something is going on. Can you explain for the people like why this is such a huge breaking news moment for you guys and what it takes to get an emergency hearing approved?
I can give you 3 million reasons why. Isaac Hayes licenses his father's music and the estate of Isaac Hayes' music and intellectual property every day, all year round. Sometimes those licenses can be 6-figure checks. Under copyright law, you get $150,000 per copyright infringement. Your viewers can look up Title 17. They'll see it right in the statute. So Donald Trump has used this music, and the Republican National Committee and so many others that kind of are in his constituency, they've used this music probably 134 times, and we have yet to see a blanket license, a signed license, a copy of a check. We've reached out to BMI, we've reached out to Universal. We're urging them to turn over, whatever documents to prove it. Because if you can't prove it, it's $150,000 per use.
Right.
And we have over 100 uses. So you're talking about, several million when we get in a courtroom. The other side of this is it's urgent and it's emergency because when you look at the family and the legacy of Isaac Hayes Jr., his dad, and even his family throughout, Donald Trump doesn't represent the character and the morals and the values that this family represents. So every time you use this music, and I'd like Isaac to elaborate on this, it's got to have impact on the family and how they feel.
Yeah. I've said several times that I'm a brother to 7 sisters. My father had 7 daughters. He would not want his music being used by a man with Donald Trump's character, the way that he talks about women. He's been found liable of sexual abuse. He calls women dogs, especially black women. There's no way my father wants to be associated with a person of Donald Trump's character. And on top of that, my father lost the rights to his music a year before I was born, and it took us 56 years to start to get them back. And as soon as we do, we have people infringing on our copyright immediately. And a lot of the states are not in this position because they sell their publishing, they sell their estate to a bigger entity, and are not in control to be able to make these kinds of decisions and fight. And I understand that the corporations that they sell them to are publicly traded companies. They don't want to be in the middle of this. They don't want to be in some sort of political squabble. They want to remain neutral. So we are in the unique position that I don't have to abide by those rules, especially when it comes to defending my father's legacy, his copyright, his music, against someone like Donald Trump that's just been blatantly using his music without our permission.
Now, on this sheet, it says the song was co-written by your dad and Dave Porter. So
Yeah.
is Dave Porter in the lawsuit as well?
No, Dave is not in the lawsuit. Dave was the co-writer of Hold On, I'm Coming. Him and my dad wrote, several hit records. Dave is aware of everything that's going on. He actually has sold his catalog to Universal Music. So he kind of did what I said people do. So Universal has his part of his catalog and they represent that. But again, us being in the unique position that I decided not to sell my father's catalog, we are the decision makers. And, you know, that song is one of the gems of my father's catalog. It gets licensed dozens and dozens of times a year. I know we got 2 more licenses in the last, you know, week that over probably about $500,000 just to license these songs for commercials that are coming up. And so, you know, Hold On, I'm Coming doesn't need Donald Trump's help to make revenue. And so it's just a matter of IP, and anybody that has their, you know, copyright and publishing should understand how important this is. And this is a lesson to songwriters, producers, the other artists out here that really, you know, understand that their music has value and they have rights as well. It's unfortunate that some of them don't. I know Celine Dion's story was a huge story, but as much as she wants Donald Trump to not use My Heart Will Go On, she has no say-so because she's not the writer of the record. So if you didn't write the song, you know, you don't own the publishing. So again, those are really good headlines, but she has no power to say that Donald Trump can't use her song. And we do, and that's the point that I'm making.
Now, did he try to clear it? Did he try to license it? Or he just said, F it, I'm just going to take it and use it. It is what it is.
We haven't seen any proof. We've been told by some of the music societies that they believe he had a blanket license at some point. But as of today, there's no license that we know of. And we've begged his team, or I emailed his team repeatedly to turn over a blanket license. If not, we'll see you in court.
Now, September.
And we're going to this hearing on September 3rd because we believe once the court sees all the evidence, the exhibits and documents, it's going to be very clear that this is copyright infringement 101.
Now, September 3rd
Donald Trump or Donald Jones, you can't use somebody's music illegally. This man sitting next to me in his father's estate, they have the exclusive right to publicly perform, display, derivative works, the whole 9 under the Copyright Act. If you haven't followed that act, you haven't followed those rules, then we bring you into court and let a judge decide.
Now, September 3rd is a great day because that's also my birthday. But I was going to say, yeah, Virgos. Now, I was going to ask, so what does, Isaac Hayes, what do you want September 3rd? What do you want to happen after all of this? Besides financial, do you want an apology? Do you want him to take it down? Do you want him never to use it again? Or so what do you want out of this?
All of that is listed actually in the lawsuit, you know, removal, because this song has been put on multiple accounts, different mediums, you know, YouTube, True Social, Rumble, you know, his social media accounts, all these other accounts that we didn't want him involved in. So number one, we want it taken down. We want to stop using it forever. We want payment for the illegal uses, because again, you ask for permission for stuff like this, but if you're not asking for permission, and again, we've seen that he's done this multiple times, it's just the time that this is where you take the step and say, it's gone a step further because, you know, these artists get political use licenses, right? And we said we've been looking for one. Okay, we know that Donald Trump doesn't have a political use license and has used this song multiple times, so you have to pay. And you know, if it was, here's another thing. Do you think if someone was using something illegal from Donald Trump, would he sue?
Right. Yeah. And on that note, let me say this: isn't it ironic this morning that Donald Trump claims he's a billionaire? He benefited off his father's estate. His father lent him millions of dollars and left him a $30 million company so he could get going. So the very man who benefited from his father's estate wants to disrespect this man and his family from benefiting from their father's estate. The very man who licenses his father's name all over the world, the Trump name, doesn't want to pay a license to use the Isaac Hayes name and song and music and copyrights. I just find that so ironic that he doesn't see, or his team doesn't see, how wrong that is, and how it's the very same mechanism that they've used to create millions and millions and billions of dollars. And lastly, it's not just Donald Trump. It's the Republican National Committee. It's the National Rifle Association. We've named about 6 defendants, and all of them will have to be in court come September 3rd.
I love that. Well, we wish you guys the best of luck, and I hope you get what you're supposed to get for it, because you're absolutely right. If somebody puts Trump's name on anything, he's coming with a lawsuit. If you put it on a T-shirt right now, he'd sue you. If it was in the back of your room, if it was on your building, your car, he'd be coming for his money. So it's only right that y'all should come for y'all.
And we urge other writers, if he's using your music, reach out to Isaac, learn how to do this, get it done. Go out there and protect your music, because it helps us all if you protect your music.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys for checking in. Isaac Hayes III, James Walker Jr., thank you so much and good luck. And call us back on September 3rd, September 4th to let us know how it went down. Well, not September 3rd. It's my birthday.
But my brother.
September 4th.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, brother. I'll talk to y'all soon.
Wake that ass up early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.